What if I told you that you can now go from a single sentence to a fully produced music track with lyrics, instruments, and vocals in just a few seconds? No instruments, no music degree, no studio, just words. That is exactly what Google DeepMind's brand new model, Lyria 3, promises. And today we're going to break down everything you need to know: how it works, what makes it different, how you can use it, and whether it actually delivers. Let's get into it. So first things first, what exactly is Lyria 3? Lyria 3 is Google DeepMind's most advanced AI music generation model to date. It was officially launched on February 18, 2026, and it's now rolling out in beta inside the Gemini app for all users 18 and older. This isn't just some random experimental tool. This is Google's flagship AI music system, and it's the first version of Lyria to get a full public release. The previous versions, Lyria 1 and Lyria 2, were limited to a small group of musicians through something called the Music AI Sandbox and powering YouTube's speech-to-song feature. Lyria 3? That's for everyone. Think of it like this. Lyria 1 was the lab experiment. Lyria 2 was the prototype. Lyria 3 is the product. Now let's talk features. What can Lyria 3 actually do? There are three major upgrades over previous models. Feature number 1, auto lyrics generation. You don't need to write a single word. Describe the theme, say a sad song about missing someone on a rainy night, and Lyria 3 will write the lyrics and sing them automatically. This is huge because previous Lyria models couldn't generate lyrics at all. Feature number 2, creative control. You can now fine-tune your track in ways you couldn't before. Things like tempo, vocal style, genre, dynamics, and even instrumentation. Want a slow jazz ballad with a female voice, upright bass, and a muted trumpet? You can specify that. Feature number 3, realism and complexity. Lyria 3 produces significantly more realistic and musically complex tracks than its predecessors. Natural note transitions, layered harmonies, proper song structure, all powered by a much more sophisticated underlying model. And on top of all this, you get 30 seconds of high-fidelity audio with AI-generated cover art powered by a tool called Nano Banana. That's a complete mini music package, ready to share. Now for the nerdy stuff, and I promise it's worth it. Lyria 3 is a generative AI model trained on a large dataset of music. Google hasn't fully disclosed the exact architecture, but based on what we know from DeepMind's research, particularly the original Lyria paper, it's built on a latent diffusion model, similar to how image generators like Stable Diffusion work, but applied to audio spectrograms. Here's the basic flow. You give it a text prompt or an image. The model encodes your prompt using a language model. That encoded meaning then guides a diffusion process that gradually refines random audio noise into structured music. The result is decoded into a waveform, and boom, you have a track. What makes this different from simpler approaches is that Lyria 3 understands the structure of music. It knows that a song has verses and choruses. It knows what instruments belong to what genre. It understands emotional tone from language. For example, when you type something like an upbeat 90s hip-hop track with a smooth female vocalist, brass samples, and lyrics about chasing dreams, the model doesn't just randomly generate audio. It maps this prompt to a musical context: genre, hip-hop; era, 90s; tempo, fast; vocal, female; theme, aspirational; and then synthesizes audio that satisfies all those constraints simultaneously. Pretty wild, right? Okay. Enough theory. Let's talk about how you actually use this thing. Step 1. Open the Gemini app on your phone or go to gemini.google.com. Make sure you're signed into a Google account and are 18 or older. Step 2. Look for the music generation option in the app. As of launch, it's rolling out in beta, so it might take a day or two to appear for everyone. Step 3. Write your prompt. This is where the magic happens. You can be as simple or as detailed as you want. A simple prompt is a one-liner with few words, and a detailed prompt provides a good context of the requirement. The more specific you are, the more control you have over the output. Step 4. Upload an image optionally. You can take a sunset photo, a picture of your dog, or even a painting, and Lyria 3 will create a track that matches the vibe and atmosphere of that image. Step 5. Hit Generate. In just a few seconds, you get your 30-second track with cover art. Then you can share it directly from the app. And here's a bonus tip. If you're a YouTube Shorts creator, Lyria 3 is also powering YouTube's Dream Track feature, which is now expanding globally, so you can use it to make custom soundtracks for your shorts. Let me give you a quick masterclass on writing better prompts for Lyria 3, because the quality of your output depends massively on this. Tier 1. Basic prompts. These work, but they're generic. Tier 2. Genre plus mood. Better, you're giving it more to work with. Tier 3. Full director mode. This is where Lyria 3 really shines. Notice how in Tier 3 you're specifying the genre and mood, the instruments and their order, the vocal style, the lyrical theme, the tempo, the song structure. Google's own prompt guide even suggests blending genres like K-pop with a Motown edge or classical violins in a funk track. That cross-genre experimentation is where Lyria 3 gets really creative. Now, with any powerful AI tool, we need to talk about responsibility, and Google has put some serious thought into this. Every single track generated by Lyria 3 is embedded with Synth ID, Google's imperceptible AI watermark. You can't hear it, you can't see it, but it's there in the audio data. What's clever is that Gemini can now also detect Synth ID, so you can upload any audio file and ask Gemini, "Was this made by AI?" And it will check for the watermark and give you an answer. This is important because as AI music gets more realistic, we need tools to tell what's real and what's synthetic. On the copyright front, Google says Lyria 3 was trained responsibly, using music they have the rights to under YouTube's terms of service, partner agreements, and applicable law. They've also been working directly with artists to gather feedback. And critically, Lyria 3 is not designed to mimic specific artists. If you name Taylor Swift in a prompt, it won't try to sound exactly like her. It'll treat it as mood and style inspiration only. There are also filters in place to check outputs against existing copyrighted content. For context, competitors like Suno and Udio were sued by the RIAA in 2024 for allegedly using copyrighted recordings without permission. Google is clearly trying to avoid that same controversy. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough: Lyria Real-Time. While Lyria 3 in the Gemini app generates finished tracks, Lyria Real-Time is a completely different beast. It creates a continuous, never-ending stream of music that you can control in real time. Imagine you're a DJ or a live performer. You can blend multiple text prompts to shift genres midstream, directly control tempo, key, density, and brightness, steer the music live like having an AI bandmate that follows your lead. It outputs professional-grade 48 kHz stereo audio. That's CD quality and beyond, perfect for live performance or as a creative starting point for producers. Think of it like this: regular Lyria 3 is a studio session. Lyria Real-Time is a live jam session where the AI is improvising with you. Let's be honest, Lyria 3 isn't the only AI music tool out there. How does it stack up? The main competitors right now are Suno and Udio. Suno is currently considered the gold standard. It generates full multi-minute songs with proper verse-chorus-bridge structure. Very polished, very creative. Udio recently settled a lawsuit with Warner Music and is transitioning to a fully licensed platform, so it's going through some changes. Lyria 3, on the other hand, is capped at 30 seconds for free users, and in early testing, it struggles a bit with niche or unusual genres. If you want mainstream pop, Afrobeat, or R&B, it nails it. If you want death metal or 12-tone atonal jazz, it might drift. But what Lyria 3 has that neither Suno or Udio have? Deep integration with the Google ecosystem. It's in Gemini, it powers YouTube Dream Track, and it has Synth ID for safety and verification. That's a serious moat. For casual creators, Lyria 3 is fantastic. For professional music production workflows, Suno still leads. So, who is Lyria 3 actually for? Let me walk you through some real use cases. Content creators. You need background music for your YouTube videos but don't want to pay for licensing. Generate a custom track that matches the exact mood of your content. No copyright worries. Social media. YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok. You can generate a unique 30-second track to go with every single video you post. That's brand-consistent, original audio at zero cost. Greeting cards and personal use. Google literally positioned this as a tool for making personalized birthday cards or songs from your pet's perspective. It's fun, casual, and accessible. Musicians and producers. Use Lyria 3 as an ideation tool. Need inspiration for a chord progression or vibe? Generate 10 prompts, pick the one that sparks something, then build on it in your DAW. Filmmakers and game developers. Need temp music for a scene? Generate mood-matched audio instantly. Use it as a placeholder or as a creative reference for your composer. Educators? Want to demonstrate a musical concept? Generate examples on the fly to illustrate different genres, tempos, or emotional registers. Now, I want to be upfront about the limitations. No hype, just facts. 30-second cap. For free users, you get 30 seconds. That's it. Google Plus, Pro, and Ultra subscribers get higher limits, but Google hasn't been specific about what that means. You're not making a full album with the free tier. Genre bias. Lyria 3 performs best in popular mainstream genres. Push it toward niche or experimental styles, and it can struggle to stay on prompt. Not a professional replacement. This is positioned as a creativity and expression tool, not a professional production suite. Suno still leads for full song structure and length. Language. Available in 8 languages at launch: English, German, Spanish, French, Hindi, Japanese, Portuguese, more to come. Beta status. It's still in beta, which means bugs, limitations, and evolving features. Expect it to improve fast. Okay, step back for a second, because Lyria 3 isn't just a cool app feature, it represents something much bigger. We're living through a moment where the barrier to musical expression is collapsing. For thousands of years, making music required years of training, expensive instruments, and access to a studio. Then, digital audio workstations democratized production. Then, streaming democratized distribution. And now, AI is democratizing creation itself. That's both exciting and controversial. For listeners and casual creators, it's pure empowerment. You can express yourself musically even if you've never touched an instrument. For professional musicians, it's complicated. Is AI a tool that augments their work, or is it competition? Google is taking the position that it's a tool, but that conversation is far from over. What I believe is this: the best musicians will use Lyria 3 the way the best photographers used Photoshop, not as a replacement for skill, but as an amplifier of vision. All right, that's a full breakdown of Google DeepMind's Lyria 3, what it is, how it works, how to use it, and where it fits in the AI music landscape. My take? Lyria 3 is the most accessible AI music tool ever made. It's fast, it's free to try, it's integrated with tools you already use, and it's backed by some serious AI research. Is it the most powerful? Not yet, but Google doesn't do anything halfway, and this is just version 3. If you want to try it, just open Gemini app and look for the music generation feature rolling out now. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel. And if you want more deep dives on AI tools, models, and the future of creativity, subscribe and ring the bell. I've got a lot more coming. Drop a comment below. What kind of track would you generate first? I'm genuinely curious. I'll see you in the next one.